Thank you very much, Sloan. Well, it is Thursday, so today, of course, is the day to get your stomachs and your kitchens ready for another segment of Cooking with Lynn. Today, we're talking about peppers. Lynn has tons of ideas of how you can get peppers for cheap and use them in a lot of different recipes for your family. Check it out.
I love peppers for so many reasons, and one of which is that they're so available right now. Farm markets, your grocery store, roadside stands. We don't have a lot of grocery stores in this area considering we're not a metropolitan area, but one thing we're lucky to have is many roadside stands. So that's another reason I really love that you can go get peppers there. I got some today. These were 50 cents each. So cost, these big bell peppers I got from the roadside stand around the corner, cost is another big reason I love them. And they're really easy to grow. So lots of us have them in our gardens. And if you don't have a garden, you probably have a friend or family member that has them in their gardens. First of all, we can snack on peppers, right? When you get home from the store, if you would like to promote quick and easy snacking that is accessible, something I recommend is that you immediately slice up peppers, put them in airtight containers, and put them in the fridge. Glass containers or clear plastic containers that you can see through are even better because it makes them at eye level of little ones especially that much more likely that they're going to grab them. If I put peppers like this out on a plate while I'm preparing dinner, they will not be on the table when we eat. But, you know, I'm happy that they're getting their vegetables, so it's okay. They're great as a vessel for trying new foods. So I have some hummus here, and, you know, the red, orange, and yellow varieties are going to be sweeter. They just, as they ripen more, they become a little more sweet than the green. So if you've got a youngster at home that doesn't like the green peppers, don't fret. Get some red or orange or yellow and try them. And then once they like them, you can get them to try something like hummus with it. As you can see, they also make salads and soups and things like that so much prettier. And you can use them just to, you know, kind of brighten things up and make them fresh. Peppers can be frozen. And one of the great things about freezing peppers, I had someone the other day that reached out to me and said, what do I do with all these extra peppers in my garden? Well, a lot of vegetables, we need to blanch them first, which means we need to put them in boiling water for a certain amount of time so that they are able to be frozen and reused later without losing quality and going bad in the freezer. But peppers freeze wonderfully if we just cut them up and remove the seeds and freeze them that way. If you push all the air out of the bag or the container, they're going to last a little longer. But once you have them chopped up or cut into strips, you can use them to throw into casseroles, soups, stews, even for making something like fajitas. You've got kind of a ready-made prepared food that you got really cheap in the summer. One of our local farm markets in town had these great banana peppers, and they were kind of like a not quite as fresh as, you know, early on in the season. They have some nicks, they have some like late sun wrinkles, things like that. I got all of these for $1.25. I could stuff them. I have a family recipe where we like to stuff these with kind of fresh tomatoes and old stale bread and some herbs and seasonings like Italian seasoning, and then we roast them in the oven, drizzle in a little bit of oil. But I could also just chop them up and freeze them, and then I've got stuff for making, you know, all winter long, and I paid $1.25 for these. We've got spicy peppers, we've got jalapeno peppers. The little ones aren't as likely to try them, though I can say I've got some fourth graders that will like to try them in classrooms, or talk about how they try them at home anyway when we're in classrooms. So that's always a really cool thing to hear about, that, you know, maybe some bragging rights for eating your vegetables. And lastly, one of the ideas that I had for you is that, and I don't have pictures of it today, but there are so many ideas online for using peppers instead of kind of bread or chips. A neat idea I saw recently is someone had chopped up the pepper so that all the pieces, after you remove the seeds, were probably about the size of tortilla chips. They layered it with cooked meat and some beans and some cheese, popped it in the oven, and made sort of a low-carb nacho. You can also just cut them in half, clean out the seeds, and use them for holding like something like Sloppy Joe or a burger or something instead of eating the bread if you're trying to lighten up a little bit. And of course, we know there's a lot of recipes where you can slice the top off, clean them out, and then stuff them with ground meat and rice and bake them. So they're just so versatile and they're so good for us. And so I guess the real question I have for you today is, how are you going to use them?
Now, as always, peppers are something that you could use in any recipe that your family likes. Plus, with an adult supervising and with a plastic knife, there's something that kids could get involved with chopping and preparing in the kitchen.